Hey guys, today is the last lesson in Unit 8 on probability. And so we are going to be combining what we know about probability, specifically what we know about theoretical probability, with setting up a proportion and solving. Now, we did this a lot at the beginning in first semester. We'd set up a proportion, cross multiply and divide. So we're going to be using that skill with the skills we've learned about probability, and we're going to make predictions. Predictions is when you take a guess at what's going to happen in the future. And so that's what we're going to do based off of what we know might happen. For example, the probability that I throw my phone off of a cliff that it's going to break, that's pretty good. That's why we don't throw our phone off of a cliff unless we're trying to get a new phone. And that's the only way I'll get a new phone. So that's you making a prediction. You're making a prediction about what might happen. So we could talk about what is the prediction that depending on how much you study, how good your grades are going to be or not be. That's you making a prediction about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to predict something based off of, in theory, how it works, theoretical probability. And if you remember, theoretical probability is not always what happens. We learned about theoretical probability and we learned about experimental probability, which is actually what does happen in that particular moment. So let's check it out. Sometimes we can use probability. So let's go ahead and write probability to make probability predictions. And if you look there, you can see a proportion. So we're always going to set it up the same way. We're going to have the favorable outcome as the numerator, all the possible outcomes as the denominator, and then however many times we might do it. Well, I know that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to you, so let's just go ahead and work through some. It's not that hard. All right, so first we're going to set up your theoretical probability on the left side of the proportion. Next, put the total number of trials on the bottom right, and then we will solve. So here's the first one. Barbara is flipping coins on her driveway. If she flips a coin 70 times, how many times can she expect to land on heads? Now, remember, a coin has how many different sides? It has a That's right, it's a total of two sides. So I'm going to write a 2 here. I'm going to go ahead and write total, but from now on, I'll probably just write a T. In fact, I can put a T right here so that you know that from now on, when I write a capital T, I'm just writing total. And so we want to know how many times that she's going to get heads. So heads is one side of the coin. So I'm going to put a 1/2. Now that's what you've already done. You've done that a bunch of times so far, but now we're going to predict. Now the question is, instead of 1/2 times, what about 70 times? So I put that as my denominator. And then this is what we're looking for, the numerator. And it's going to be like that every single time. You always put the x as the numerator. So that's very consistent. All right, now I'm going to do what we did last semester. I'm going to cross multiply. 2 times x is 2x. 70 times 1 is 70. All right, now we're back to algebra. Remember, I want to solve for x. So I need to do the inverse operation, which is divide. But if I divide that side by 2, I need to divide the other side by 2. 70 divided by 2 is 35. So the answer, how many times can she expect to land on heads? 35 times. Okay, let's do another one. By the time we get to the fourth one, I think you're going to get it. Here we go. The probability of Kim getting a correct answer on her test 2 out of 5 times. If there are 35 questions on her test, how many will she get correct? So again, she wants to get correct answers. So we're going to call that C for correct. Correct. And then we're going to put a T for total. And it says 2 out of 5. So 2 correct out of 5. But there's a total now, though, of 35 questions. So every 5 questions, she gets 2 right, theoretically. So now we have 35 questions. So again, we're going to cross multiply and divide. 5 times x is 5x. 35 times 2 is 70. Again, cross. To isolate x, to solve for x, I'm going to have to divide both sides by 5. X equals 14. So she would probably, or theoretically, she would get 14 correct answers. Let's go to the next one. If Ashley spins this spinner 50 times, what is the probability she will land on red? Okay, they didn't give us a bunch of numbers. You have to count up the different sections, the total, T for total. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a total of 5, and it wants red. So we have, whoa. Sorry about that. I touched something. All right, so let's go back. So we want red. So we have red. There's 1 red out of a total of 5 sections. All right, now 1 out of 5 chance. Now we have 50 chances. So I'm going to put a 50 right here. Now I could cross multiply and divide, and on this one though, in fact, on most of these, in fact, I think on all of them, I can go from here to here. Can you see a times table right there? 5 times what is 50? 5 times 10. All right, if I multiply the bottom by 10, I can also multiply the top by 10. Now I'm doing a different method. I am not cross multiplying and dividing. That is one method to solve it. This is another method, and we did this last fall. Maybe you remember, maybe you don't. You can always do cross multiplying and dividing. I just want to give you different options. So the number of times she might land on red when she spins the spinner is 10 times. Does that mean she's actually going to do it 10 times? No. It's just we're making a prediction, the probability that it will happen. Okay, let's look at the next one. Crystal rolls a dice 30 times. How many times should she expect to roll 2? How many sides are on a dice? What are the total number of sides on the dice? 6. Whoops. Let me move that over. I don't like the way I did that. Okay, we have total 6. How many sides have the number 2? Do I put a 2 on top of the 6? Do 2 sides have a number 2? No, only one side has a number 2. All right, and now the 30 will go down here. X on the top, cross multiply, divide, or you can actually go straight across on this one also, but I'll go ahead and cross multiply and divide. You decide what method works best for you. All right, I'm going to end up with 5. So that's 5 times she might roll a 2. All right, that's it. Good luck. Ask questions if you need to, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.